Hello and welcome to Shooters Dock, Drink, Dine, Fort Lauderdale. I'm Anna Reyes and I'll be guiding you through the pinnacle of the South Florida lifestyle. Shooters has been a Fort Lauderdale icon since 1982. And as Fort Lauderdale has evolved from the spring break capital of the world hot bod bikini contest to its sophisticated modern day relaxed elegance, so has Shooters. Let's check it out.
Shooters is synonymous with Fort Lauderdale. It has been part of the scene for so many decades, and to once again see it emerge in this style and this level of commitment to the community, the investment has been significant, as you can see, from the lighting, the carpeting, the walls, the chairs, everything about it. You know that Shooters is here to stay. Welcome everybody to Shooters 2.0, right?
As we rebuilt, we refurnished, and we made it look really fresh and modern. We always wanted to make sure that it was attainable, accessible, and affordable, and it was never out of a price point where nobody or everybody could enjoy it.
The common theme here, though, is that Fort Lauderdale is family friendly. We want people to bring their kids and their relatives and to enjoy Fort Lauderdale for everybody, because we are a place where everyone can enjoy themselves, no matter what country you come from, no matter from what walk of life, no matter who you are. We are accepting. We are a diverse community.
As we rebranded and we knew that there was a point in time we were going to be able to do something upstairs, we started getting more phone calls about, do you have private dining space? Can we do an event upstairs? And we finally put our heads together and saved a few pennies and was able to come up with this with our designer, Deborah Frustrino.
What was your vision for Shooters, for the new Shooters, knowing what the old Shooters represented?
Well, what I wanted to do is transform the property, but still respect the rich history and culture of the property, because it's so special to so many people, and they always come back and remember when they were here and want to have part of that experience, but something new and different.
You've brought everything to another level, not just on the second floor, but with carpeting and lighting and everything. You did a great design, really great talent.
When was the first time that you saw the property, and what did you think then?
The day that the owners were contemplating buying it, they called me here, and Mr. McIntyre said to me, "What do you think?" And I just lit up. I thought this was the coolest property ever to be able to transform.
Ready, good? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Want to do it again?
Well, thank you, everybody. Please enjoy. We have lovely appetizers, some scrumptious wines to celebrate with, and be our guest tonight. Thank you very much again. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Shooters. Come on.
I have the best experience every time I come here. I start my day. After that, we go over to the beautiful bar. We have a champagne or mimosa, and then you can have breakfast. Shooters was a real big hot spot back in the 80s. Now you can come here, you can have breakfast right after your yoga class, meet some friends.
We come here every Saturday. We've been coming here for 3 years now, and it's something that we've enjoyed doing together. We've bonded over it, and we built a beautiful community here. We have wonderful Shooters and Taryn, who gives us something to start our whole weekend.
This setting is perfect. It's pristine waters, a perfect view, and we have an amazing support and relationship with Shooters here.
You can pull up on your boat.
Our yoga class is the best class to start out, whether you're a beginner, you're intermediate, or you're advanced yoga student. Everybody can do the class. Doesn't matter your age, your size, everybody is welcome.
My friend told me about it last week, so last week was actually the first time that I came. And initially, I came because it was free and there's free mimosas. So that was obviously like a big draw.
We're going to go to a beautiful yoga place. This is the most beautiful yoga place I've ever been to. So again, it was a temptation with free mimosas, but getting here was totally amazing, and the instructor is great. And I really agree with Sarah. I've been doing yoga for about 10 years now, and I like that we didn't rush. But what I really liked about it was in the end, she had you put your hand over your heart and really think about where you were within yourself. And I think that's something wonderful for all people who do yoga.
We practice yoga with Tara and Alan every week, and we really enjoy coming here and starting our weekend, raising our vibration so that we set the tone for the rest of the weekend.
We are where the magic happens, here in the kitchen with executive chef Roberto Santiago, and he's going to be cooking up a lot of magic today. Is that right?
For sure, like we do every day in our kitchen.
So like you said, there's always something new, fresh, and exciting here at Shooters. And every month you have a special dish of the month, and today's looks simply spectacular. Let's talk about that.
I mean, we always go all out for these dish of the month, and we have today, we're gonna do a lobster boil. Very similar to a clam boil, but we're gonna use 2 main lobster tail, very sweet main lobster tail, with some sweet corn, red bleached potatoes, and dewy sausages with to put that spice in there. Some very nice shrimp, okay, some spinach. It's gonna be awesome. Some grilled lemons. You'll see it's gonna be delicious. These are the potatoes and corn in a bag. Then we have all the seafood on one of the other bags. This is a poaching liquid that we have here that we let go for about 20 to 30 minutes with onions, celery, carrots, some aromatics, some sriracha as well to give a kick to it. We let that go for simmer for about 20 minutes. Then that's where our poaching liquid for all our seafood and veggies. We let that sit for about 7 minutes or so. We want to make sure everything is nice and hot. That lobster is being pre-cooked, so we just want to heat it up thoroughly. We're going to start with the vegetables that are being soaking for about 5 to 6 minutes. We're going to add a little bit of drum butter. Some nice fresh parsley. We're going to toss all that in. Lay those on the top. Some of that butter as well. And now we're going to go with the seafood. Lay my lobster here standing up. Nice lobster tails. Some of those jumbo shrimp. And some lemons that we had grilled ahead of time to give a little smokiness and lemony flavor.
Well, Chef, you truly knocked it out of the park with this one. It not only smells delicious, but it looks just as good. I can't even imagine what it's gonna taste like.
That's how we do it, and it has to look like this every single time.
We're with Captain Dave. He's been a water taxi captain for about 1.5 years. He loves his job and says that this is actually one of his most popular stops.
Most people getting on the boat downtown Fort Lauderdale will ask, is this the boat that goes to Shooters? Because Shooters is synonymous with this area. They love the food, they love the service, they love the location, they love to sit here outside under the umbrellas, they love to watch the boats, they love the drinks, they love the fun.
Yes, the ambiance and the fun here is definitely unbeatable. I mean, we're working here today, but I'm sure both you and I want to just sit on the dock and have some brunch right now.
I can't wait to come back tomorrow when I'm on my own boat on my day off and bring my family here. I've been boating here in South Florida since the late 80s. And I used to come here before I was a boat captain for Water Taxi. I came here on my own boat. This was our favorite place to go. And now I'm lucky enough to bring people here. From my own experience, I can tell them how great it is. You get on the boat anywhere in Fort Lauderdale, come up to Shooters, one of our most popular stops. You've got the great restaurant here with the ambiance, and you can get on and get off the boat all day long. But don't forget to come to Shooters. It's a favorite spot.
So I came across this stunning group of ladies. They are all from all over South Florida. Some even came from Miami. Some came from Pembroke Pines, all to celebrate their friend Julie's birthday. Happy birthday, Julie.
Thank you.
Now, I love the theme that you have going on with the matching outfits and the roses. Who came up with this idea?
My sister and Fabian.
Beautiful. And then now, when picking Shooters for a place, whose idea was it, and what made you choose Shooters to celebrate your birthday?
Well, she initially reached out to me just to get an idea of what I would like for my birthday. And I told her I just want something relaxed where we all, my friends, come together and just talk and take in the atmosphere. And This, she executed it very well.
Thank you for joining. So everybody say, we love shooters. The views here really can't be beat. I'm relaxed just by being here. You know, now the food and the drinks, everything else is a plus.
Absolutely. All you need is a cocktail.
Yes. So I took a look at the brunch and it looks, I mean, incredible. I just wanted to stop working and have some.
Yeah, absolutely. So on Saturdays and Sundays, we do have our brunch buffet available. It is $40 per person, $25 for children. We have an endless smorgasbord up there. It's actually, you can make your own pancake, waffle, crepe, omelet, bacon, sausage, sushi, salads, the whole 9 yards, honestly.
The waffles and the crepes, I mean, looked amazing. You could put like whipped cream and strawberries, homemade omelets. It's everything you could want. I mean, it's totally worth it.
Including our bottomless mimosas too, and Bloody Marys. They are $20, unlimited, all you can drink. We do weddings and proposals and bigger events such as all those good things. So this is a perfect place to have all those special occasions as well.
One of the most fantastic places to hang out at Shooters is the Tiki Bar, where you can experience live music, sun, water, and enjoy a delicious drink.
We do have live music Thursday through Sunday for happy hour as well, and then for brunches during the day and at night.
Next up, we're going to speak to iconic bartender Greg, who has been at Shooters since it first opened in 1982.
Wow, where do I start with that story? I was a young man, moved down to South Florida in the early 80s and got a job here at a place called Shooters Waterfront. And they had just opened December of '82. I got here July 1st, 1983, the weekend they bought the bootlegger from a man named Joe Foley. They married the two properties, and all their advertisements and parties after that all became Shooters/bootleggers. Over the years, we've morphed from a fast boat, fast cars, fast times operation, very fun, rock bands, pool parties, all the elements of South Florida at the time, and now somewhat morphed into a much more diverse property. I guess one reason that I have stayed here all these years of all the people that I've met here, all the people I get to work with every day. It's a very blessed property. As you can see, my office is pretty nice. I call my job sort of a jail with a view. We've watched people grow with us over the years. Some of the kids today that were coming in and getting chocolate milkshakes with their parents and their families in the 80s and 90s are now running the companies and driving the big trucks, kind of taking over for another generation. It actually gives me goosebumps every Saturday and Sunday when I work behind the bar just to look around to see all the families from all over the world. People that come back to see us every year. A lot of people stop right from the airport before they go to their condos for lunch or dinner, and we're blessed to have them all in our lives. So I would have to say the people that I have met here as Shooters as my platform.
It's a beautiful location. It's a huge location. We have dock dining. We have boats that come nonstop. We have a great partnership with the Water Taxi, which is an amazing venue for all the tourists. Anybody that just wants to see Fort Lauderdale in a different area.
I try to make their visit here as special as I can every time they're here, but certainly the water outside, water is somewhat like fire. It's constant movement. The tide goes in, the tide goes out. We've got boats passing by all day long, so it's quite a combination of people and the atmosphere that we provide. We're going to make our sangria martini. We're going to start with a chilled martini glass, and we're going to take a mixing tin, add some fresh ice. We're going to use Grey Goose in this recipe, a splash of elderflower liqueur, a splash of fresh orange juice, some raspberry puree. We're kind of making a sangria martini with adding the vodka to it, so it's sort of kind of crossing two drinks in one. Take some fresh mint leaves to give us a nice herbal flavor in there, and then we're going to give that a nice shake. Then we add the little fresh Pinot Noir, top of that. Completes the sangria part of it. It's garnished with fresh mint and a raspberry. There you have our sangria martini.
I've been here for over 5 years now, and I love working here because Shooters ties in intimate hospitality with a little bit of a salty modern twist. We have such a potluck of incredible clientele from, you know, the salty, the rich, the famous, the young, the old, you name it, it's all here. And we kind of seduce you with a beautiful view, but we all tie that in with food and beverage, which in my opinion is the language of love. We have young and old, but we also have some of the old timers that come in and they admire the great work that we did, but we also don't forget who we were once, and we kind of tie that in with who we are now. So we don't forget where we've been, but we don't look to that as where we're going. I tie that in with a team and family, so we all can always count on each other just to produce the hospitality that would come from within our home. So whenever we invite you into Shooters, we invite you into our house. And everyone can kind of hold that same responsibility to all the guests that we service here. Between the incredible view, to the palm trees, to the locally sourced seafood, to the homemade drinks, the handcrafted cocktails, I mean, it's all there between the locals and the tourists alike.
Behind the scenes, you know, we're a tight-knit group. It's a group of six chefs, including the executive and the executive sous chef. And behind the scenes, the sous are just here to support the executive chef, make sure that the food is right, make sure that we're validating all the incoming orders, that we're running a profitable business, but more importantly, that we're sending out the best quality food, that we're on top of our guests' experience, and that our cooks and our staff are executing to the best of their ability. So everything is prepared fresh daily. Here at Shooters, we have a blessing and a curse at the same time. We have very, very, very small coolers. So we get fresh deliveries every single day. And just, you know, thankfully due to our volume, we're able to provide only the freshest food and the freshest ingredients at all times. We do this by keeping close relationships with our vendors, checking every single order that comes in, validating the quality. If something is not good enough, even if it's just down to the lettuce, we send it back, we wait for new lettuce. These types of relationships really help us ensure that our food quality is top-notch all the time, even if we're feeding 400, 500, or even 1,000 guests in a day. Here we're on the expo line, and this is kind of like basically the beating heart of the kitchen. So what we're doing here is on this side of the line, this is where our servers and our food earners come to pick up the orders for each one of the tables. We organize each one of our orders per table. Our executive chef is in the window now making calls. He's ensuring that our cooks have everything that they need on their stations, that they're cooking everything to our specifications. And on this side, what I'm doing is I'm validating that every order is correct. Modifications, allergies, guest preferences, any sort of special requests that our guests might have, we try to honor everything that our guests want. And that's a very important job. The executive chef or whoever's on point here on Expo needs to be absolutely 100% focused. They need to ensure that everything is going out correctly. And even if we're feeding 1,000 guests in a day, his job is the toughest because he needs to make sure that if 1,000 dishes leave this one window, every single one has to be perfect. You know, if one dish isn't perfect and you ruin a guest experience, this could be that one special occasion, and we really need to make sure that every dish that goes out is absolutely perfect. Every guest is important, every table is important. Doesn't matter if they're ordering a piece of toast or an English muffin or steak and eggs or even our full Norm de Mar platter. Everything has to be perfect and everything has to be presented in the best way possible. So as the dishes come out, on this side we're kind of like the last line of defense. So what we're doing is we're making sure that everything is correct. We're keeping our cold items out of the hot window, and we're just scanning giving that last opportunity before it touches the table to adjust, to fix, to send it back, to have the cooks retouch it if they need to. And also this is our opportunity to coach, especially here in the window. Anything that's not right, that we see is not being prepared right, we're gonna push it back, we're gonna speak directly to our chefs, and we're gonna coach them on how to do it properly and how to do it right the next time. This is how we keep our guests happy. This is how we keep Shooters as one of the busiest restaurants in Fort Lauderdale, even though we're feeding 900 to 1,000 people a day.
When it comes to buffet, I am pretty much a top requested person. I don't like to toot my own horn, but it's fun over here at Shooters Waterfront. We try to provide the best experience for our guests. I put a little bit of piece of love in every omelet that I make here, and we're here just to give the best 5-star experience that we can. We have a wonderful staff here. Everyone's here is friendly, nice, very caring, and we just try to go beyond the expectations for our guests that most restaurants won't really do. Specifically for me is my personality, I would say. I'm fun, I'm talkative, I'm interactive, I joke around with you every now and then. You might ask for something, I'll tell you no just to get a reaction out of you. Other than that is, just people just coming back to feel loved and welcome, because we are very open and caring here at Shooters Waterfront, and we try to just go that extra mile.
I have to ask, Shooters has been around since 1982. That's 37 years. Most restaurants come and go. So this is very unique for a restaurant to be here that long. It is timeless. Talk about how it was able to do this.
Well, we're really blessed to be in a community that accepts us and holds us, really close and dear in their hearts. We've enjoyed the 1980s all the way up through the 90s, 2000, and now into where we're at. So it's been part of the fabric of Fort Lauderdale. Some of the restaurants that have been here have passed and went and gone, but Shooters has lived the test of time.
I think everybody has a moment here that they've been here, and it's historic for them, where everybody that comes to town wants to come back and relive that. And I've tried to keep some of that history here in the property so that when they come back, especially, I don't know if you've done the walk to the ladies and men's room, where it's a whole wall of photos of all the history and those special moments at Shooters.
We've changed with the times, and we've become more of a culinary and service cuisine style of restaurant. And let's not face it, the views in 1982 are still the same. We've been very fortunate that we have that, and we're lucky that we have Fort Lauderdale community backing us. Not only that, we have tons of guests that come and see us from Miami, Palm Beach, out in Weston. So it's kind of like a meeting hub on the weekends. Families are dispersed through the Tri-County area, but they all come to Shooters on the weekend to relive those news stories, talk about what life has possessed or challenged them with, and then they come here and celebrate and have a blast with us. One of the things that we were able to do is we took a lot of feedback from our guests, and everything that we do, we have lots of feedback from our guests. We try things, we put things on specials, it asks us what you love, what you don't love. But the number one thing that kept on coming back to us was, do you have private dining space? I want to do a little intimate dining, a little bit intimate meeting, wedding showers, baby showers, bar mitzvahs. They wanted a small enclosed space. So when the time evolved for us to go ahead and renovate upstairs, our second floor, which you'll hopefully get to see, it's amazing. We took it, Deborah Postino took it to a different level where it adds a different dimension to what Shooters is, where you kind of wouldn't expect it, but when you get up there and you see how the decor matches with the ambiance, it totally falls in line with everything.
This is such a large property, more than an acre, and the docks are over 340 feet. So how do you keep it new and exciting?
Well, this property is never finished. There's always something new, there's always something changing, and based on the functionality, and the manager, Peter, here is always coming up with something really great to generate interest from different clienteles, such as, downstairs we just redid one of the bar areas, and we're always doing new seating outside to create different venues. So it's never finished. I'm here on an ongoing basis.
What is one of your favorite parts about the property, or something that you were most proud of that you worked on here?
Removing the swimming pool was probably one of the most controversial things, because it was really part of the history. So to make the decision to remove it, I felt like I had to do something that was really special there. And so I love the area where they have the fire pit and the bird cage, and it's just a really beautiful outdoor seating area, and I think people really see that as a big bonus here.
I think a lot of questions that usually come up about Shooters, the biggest one we find is, what is Shooters? I think Shooters is Fort Lauderdale. It's been here for almost 40 years. It's iconic. It's Fort Lauderdale. So when people ask, it's actually very simple. Who are the guests that come here? What do you do? Well, the guests are everybody that's in Fort Lauderdale. We have anybody from business guests that come through and want a nice business lunch or a business area. We have the travelers or the vacationers that are coming from, whether it's South America or Canada or anywhere else, because they know and have heard of Shooters and want to be a part of it. Being an iconic building in a large property with a big footprint, we see a lot of guests, and that's what we love. We have anywhere from parties of one all the way up to hundreds, depending on a private party, depending on what's needed. So the dynamic is very it's amazing just because of the atmosphere and the staff that we have, the team members actually. But it's a great dynamic because of so many different guests and party sizes that we have. We can handle any option, any dietary need, any party size. We can handle it all, and we love to. It makes it unique, it makes it fun. As far as guest-wise, we see anywhere, especially on the weekends, probably anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 every single day. It might even be more depending on the private party size. You know, not only with a normal restaurant, but because of the footprint we have and because of the guests that we have and the volume, you got to do a lot. You know, the team does a really good job with the amount of flow and volume we have and the atmosphere that we have.
Honestly, this place is like a second home to me. You know, I love it here. It's family. You know, the management is absolutely amazing. The ambiance is absolutely beautiful. You know, you're right here on the Intercoastal. Our happy hours are to die for. I personally think it's the best in Fort Lauderdale.
You know, other restaurants are enclosed. We're not. 55% of our restaurant is outside. So we have to deal with the elements more than anybody else, whether that's the rain, whether that's the the cloud cover, whatever it may be. And the team does a really good job at that. So we like what we do. We like the volume that we have. It's fast-paced. We handle and not handle, but we have a lot of guests that come through, and we like it. And it is a challenge, but I think everybody that is here knows the challenge, likes the challenge, and wants the challenge.
I came here to Shooters for my birthday to celebrate with all my girls. I love the atmosphere. I love being on the water. The food is amazing, and so are the bottomless mimosas. How many? It's bottomless. I love being on the water. I love people watching, but they accommodate us, and everybody's very friendly.
That's right. It even helps with the mood. I mean, now you have the music, you have the view, you have the food. There's nothing missing.
Nothing missing at all, absolutely. I think this is the perfect setting to come in with good friends and family and enjoy your time.
Shooters has the most beautiful environment. You're right here on the Intercoastal. Look how gorgeous it is. You're on the water, beautiful blue skies, 80 degrees, and I have the best experience every time I come here.
It's bottomless, so that's unknown. The mimosas.
Today was just a glimpse of the incredible lifestyle Shooters Waterfront offers. Dock, drink, and dine with us again right here next month for more. And check out shooterswaterfront.com for the latest events and happenings. For Shooters Dock, Drink, Dine, Fort Lauderdale, I'm Anna Reyes. How do you continue to keep it fresh, new, and exciting? And I have lipstick on still? Okay. My lipstick is on? Wow. Okay.
I know, right?
Oh, sorry. All right. I know, we have to get close where it feels like it's awkward.
We're like
but on camera,
hugging.
yes. But on camera, it looks normal.
No problem,
It's just like
no problem.
Real life.